watched the first Matrix over the weekend, and like looking at like the technology they had back then versus what we have now, I'm like, wow, if they remade this movie, it would be really awesome.
And they are.
They
I was waiting
are?
for the perfect moment. I didn't want to trample on Alan's video game talk, but
Good.
I've watched every reaction to it. I've watched the trailer probably 6 times in the last day and a half. And I still don't know if I'm excited or worried.
Well, I got a little bit of I don't remember if it was a video or discussion that we had or something fucking else somewhere, but the idea of Matrix 4 was supposed to be like a passing of the torch, right?
I think they're going to lean it that way. I think they're going to transition uh the one to somebody else
Mhm.
just because Keanu Reeves is in his 60s now, right?
It looks
Like,
damn good.
right? Like, no, give the guy his props, but
He's a
he has
vampire.
to, yeah, he has to start thinking long term, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I, and one theory I saw today is that the one, the reason why the seventh generation of Zion was different was because the one had spread to Trinity. So together they made the one.
Oh.
Okay,
And, and
so
there's
I
a
can.
so there's a lot of evidence from the trailer that they pointed out that even if in the cutscenes of the trailer, like the biggest one is that there's a pod room of 2 pods. So who's in those 2 pods?
Mhm.
Trinity and Neo have both been put back into the Matrix in this movie. So, and they in the trailer they meet each other, and she's like, "Do I
Have you
know you?"
met? Yeah.
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 So that maybe she was what made him different than the other ones, because that is what happened, right? Like that's what was different is that every successor before him chose humanity over their personal interest, their love interest, right?
Hmm.
But he chose her.
In that version of Zion.
No, in the third movie, he chooses
Oh
her
yeah.
over
Yeah.
humanity.
I mean, he did kind of like crash himself into the thing. Like I couldn't remember the end of the movie, so I had to go back and read a couple synopses. So like Matrix Reloaded, what we find out that he's like a clone, right? Like a genetically engineered clone. And then at the end of the last movie, wasn't it that basically he released himself into the Matrix and the Matrix is just reanimating him into the program?
So no, he goes to Machine City, has a discussion with the Omni Machina or
Mm-hmm.
Omni Mechana, and so Smith has become a virus that even
Yeah.
the hive mind can't control. So they strike a deal that he'll leave, that they'll be in peace. Humanity and the machines will be in peace if he goes in and defeats Smith. So then he allows the Omni Mecha to plug him back in. Then he defeats Smith, but in the
Mm-hmm.
process, you were led to believe he lost his life. Thus, his body was left with the machines.
Oh, okay.
So so
And
that's
then
where all the confusion comes in, like where this movie's taking place.
the Oracle at the end is like, well, the architect asked her like, will we ever see him again? And she's like, probably someday, right?
Yeah. So so there's a lot of good theories running around, and it always makes a movie more exciting when you can have different possibilities and different theories. I don't know, it adds to the build up. So when the movie comes, it's just a nice climax.
So why now? Like it seemed like a real big shock for this like trailer to drop. I was super excited to see the link that was posted in our Discord about like choosing the red or the blue pill. But like I'm wondering like I don't know. Was it just because we have like technology now or we have room to work on the story?
I think they got a good story, and because it's not the directors. They were the Waskoski. I can't ever say their names, but it's not them. But it's one of their family members is actually the director of this one, so they're still involved. They were. It was just kind of. I think they got everybody but Lawrence Fishburne to come back. He's the
Okay.
only person that's been recast, I believe.
Wachowski, right?
Yeah, Wachowski, something like that.
Yeah, Wachowski. I got you.
I'm colorblind.
We're talking about how crazy sleeps with his eyes open.
Yeah, there's a consensus that you sleep with your eyes open. And then as far as picking the red pill or the blue pill for the trailer, that's what I just dropped. It was the teaser pre-trailer.
So the
Do that-
question is, would any of y'all take a blue pill? Sorry, what's
You mean the red pill?
Like find the truth.
I got the look. Hold on.
Because in the movie, he's just
No one
taking the
ever
blue
let me
pill
talk.
over and over and over again until he takes the red one. He took the red one, right? I'm not high.
Forget which
You know
one
the
it was.
truth.
Probably into taking the blue pill. I like being blissfully ignorant. I guess that makes me willfully ignorant, but still, you know.
The red pill is the one you want, crazy.
I know I would take the red pill, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think you would take the red pill or the blue pill? Like,
Red pill.
honestly,
Red pill.
red pill, you'd want to know.
Yeah.
I would want to know. I would want to know because like how can you go on knowing?
I see puzzled having the real cipher stance. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Take the red pill.
Made me
but then wanna
forget.
Take the blue pill.
Cipher. He goes, this might be fake steak, but it still tastes like steak.
Mhm.
He's like, it's
he-
better than the porridge or whatever they call it, the gruel.
The slop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he betrays the crew the first movie.
That actor always plays a fantastic asshole.
Yeah. So that was a little thing that got brought up the other day, right? That I think what Marvel did to infect movies was that the movie tells the story now versus a story being told during a movie, right? Like The Matrix was a movie about this guy, Neo. But again, they also had a lot of story behind it and flowing with, parallel to it. And a lot of the movies that have been coming out because they're superhero movies, they're just kind of a straight story.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it is kind of the age of the reboot, and Matrix is a really good one to reboot.
Well, so yeah, just the simple fact that the lore of it is actually based in reincarnations, right? Like when we meet Neo and Morpheus, Morpheus says like Zion's been destroyed and rebirthed 6 times before this. This is the 7th time, right? So the whole movie has always had a rebirth and reincarnation vibe to it. So it just kind of makes sense the way they're going about it. It has that built into the story already. But also I mean, I think it's a well needed movie, and I really hope that the story is because I'm really tired of superhero movies and superhero shows.
Yeah.
Like what if?
I don't know how many times I can set puzzled up.